I'll just keep this open for now. All right, there we go. So we did a poll a while back. I set up the poll and everything, asking if people would be interested in protagonist swap. Now, unfortunately, not too familiar with playing shit out. I did release an announcement via like chat, via like question. It's I put a post. I think is what it's called. They're called posts. That we will be doing a protagonist swap this Sunday at 6 Q&A situation. So this is just more or less if anyone who ended up actually watching protagonist swap and have some free time, if they have any questions or anything, they can pop on by here. Going forward, given that Mangler's only day off of Sunday, and that's kind of like a day off that fits in with me, these will probably always be Sundays. If possible, maybe depending on circumstances, we might be able to make it earlier, but Isaac Clarke surviving the Halo trilogy. Okay, well,
is that a question?
I don't know. Alan didn't put a fucking question mark at the end of it, but he was asking for like on Discord. I remember for this matchup. Do you know anything about Dead Space? Because
I do. I have played through the Dead Space. Well, I've played through Dead Space 1, and I played through a decent chunk of Dead Space 2. Never finished it. So, I mean, I could speak to some of his feats. I'd have to go back and play like 2 and 3.
Mike's got some static there.
Really? Hang on.
For some reason, they put the fucking USB ports on these mics. Doom Guy and goes to DMC. Oh, hello, Watermelon. Doom Guy into DMC as a request. That one, maybe, but we'd have to first agree on where Doom scales, and we'd have to actually sit down and scale Doom.
Right, I think I got it. Is it working now?
Alright, that's better.
Yeah, so for right now, I think... So this depends. Zim, are you more comfortable with doing hack and slash and character action?
Well, so,
like characters being swapped around? Because that's what I thought we were doing. That's why the idea of like FPS characters has never really entered my mind.
Well, in fairness, like, hack and slash was the main idea because they have similar game genre types. At some point, we would probably have to expand out regardless. It's just that, like, we've never even talked about Doom, like, seriously on the channel for scaling. Even in the streams, we never really talked about Doom that much for scaling.
Doom has really just been more of, like, a fever dream, really. Like, it's just... It's kind of... So Doom's weird because it's a shooter... But, like, the scaling of Doom is very inconsistent compared to other FPS games. And, like, how that world interacts with the character in its respective plot is very different from something like, the Dead Space games or things like Halo or just other, like, sci-fi FPS things. If that makes sense.
There's also the fact that we're technically still working on a big DMC video, and we have background research going on for other series that putting Doom into that list. That would probably be, if we were to do that, that would just be me by myself doing it, maybe with Devil's help, because Devil's always free. Irony in that one. But I don't like Doom's gameplay.
I don't mind Doom's gameplay, but, like... I don't want to add another project to the list that I'm not going to like immediately enjoy because that already adds like several things that would not be like that pleasant to me.
There's also Red Dusk's Commission, which we still like. There are projects in the way that Doom would not be in there at all for an idea for a good long while.
DM33 Virgil in Dark Souls 1 and 3. So we're trying to.
Why is piggybacking, 2 left out there?
Piggybacking off of piggybacking off of that previous idea I just mentioned, I'm kind of leaving RPGs like out of that as well. But if Zim wants to add his 2 cents, since he's technically hosting the Protag Swap videos.
Well, in fairness, wait, hang on. Where did my mic go? Yeah, in fairness, it was my idea. It's just that, it's not a very original idea, but it was mine. But Dark Souls, maybe, but again, that'd be another project for scaling. We'd have to agree on where the scaling is. We'd have to come to a definitive conclusion within reason. Because I don't even know where VSB scales Dark Souls.
Way lower than where I scale it. That's for sure.
It's probably wrong. No offense to VSB, but they always change their AP over the course of time when people bring up more consistent statements. So I've heard at least Neo and Mangler somewhere in the tier 2 for Dark Souls.
They barely agree to it being in like tier 4.
Yeah, so
So
that would have to be like I'd have to sit down and go through Dark Souls. Which, to be fair, I've played 2 of the 3. I am playing 3 off stream every now and again, but Elden Ring kind of took up my time as well. So Elden Ring might be more viable of throwing someone in there, if I'm being honest, than Dark Souls is anytime soon. At least Elden Ring's just one game.
Mangler, you rolling coke?
Azura
Got him.
in God of War. So we actually Azra is on the he's on the list of people we can use for protagonist swap at the time. Again, one game. We don't have his guidebook. I don't really think
That
we
can
need
be
it.
arranged.
We have people who get a hold of it, but we're all very familiar with Azra, and we all scale them basically to tier like 2, like low 2C or 2C, depending on how you want to take Chocolate Vard's statement. But we all kind of give him the benefit of the doubt for tier 2. So he is a viable option to choose. He didn't make it in the God of War because of some stuff we heard, and Mangler was going through Bayonetta, and we're just like, you know what? Let's try not putting like an obvious pick in.
Well, so it's kind of like I consider between the 6 main hack and slashes, which I would consider to be Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, God of War, Ninja Gaiden, Azura's Wrath, and Darksiders. I consider Darksiders, Ninja Gaiden, and Azura's Wrath to be the lesser known of the 3.
I don't know what to call myself. Yeah, this is just a Q&A. Maybe later on we'll do a normal stream, but for now it's just a Q&A.
And Dark Souls to tier 9? Neat.
Yeah, so this is mainly meant for people who either A, have questions about protagonist swaps, or potentially have questions about who could be in Una, and about the specific videos themselves as well.
How they're made, which ones we've already done.
Like if you had questions on like reasonings we had, or like things we did specifically for the swaps, like you can ask that here as well.
How long did it take to make them? That kind of stuff.
It is a little weird since we don't normally do these ever for anything.
And we thought trying it out would be cool because we never really get to give you guys an idea of like what it's like when we're making stuff, like when we're making content. Like you usually get to see the content after it's made. It's like, okay, here's the finished product, but we never really show you. Well, we show you the canvas sometimes, but not all of it.
Yeah, sometimes you hear like a little lines back and forth in the background, but you don't really like. All you see is what's in the video, but like you don't really see the hour or 2 of discussion before the videos start.
Zen posting actual videos and not just streaming.
I actually do have to get off my ass and take care of that Jinx. How powerful! You'd think you wouldn't see this? I don't know what that was reference to. I think it just means like a general Q&A. Yeah, no. So it's like, and we just thought maybe it'd be a fun idea. Give that noise a try.
Why do I have a giant like yellow screen in the background of like a giant yellow square in the background of my
So that's just what we have in general because like even if I were to put like the American flag like profile picture I have, it doesn't pop up in the background, which kind of annoys me. You have Discord Nitro, right? So don't you get better benefits than me?
Hang on.
Okay. So behind the scenes discussions will be cool. I've always kind of considered recording some behind the scenes, but then like I kind of feel it always kind of feels artificial because me and Kyle Mangler can attest to this. When we're just talking by ourselves normally, if Ozra shows up, he can attest to this too. The static.
Wait, was that mine?
Yeah, you're gonna have to be a little like better there. Oh yeah. Calling myself one shot right now. A lot of things happen behind the scenes that like a lot of funny jokes, a lot of great ideas go around sometimes, and it's just like I feel like if I record it, probably just gets ruined a little bit there. So it
ruins the magic.
So I guess Oh, okay. So you're still staticky. In the meantime, I'll answer some of the simpler questions. Sonic surviving Bayonetta. As far as I know, Sonic technically has tier 2 scaling, but Bayonetta, Mangler's currently going through right now. So we're not really going to touch Bayonetta's actual home world until like we've been satisfied going through it.
Yeah, we're fine with putting. So it's easy. So the thing about scaling and collecting resources for the hack and slash characters is that if you were to make a scenario, it is easier to take the hack and slash character and like pull them out of their verse and put them into one you're more familiar with than to take someone and put them in that verse. Because researching the verse, even with only 2 games, is much more difficult than just researching like Bayonetta's feats, her equipment, and then like her physiology and stuff. That's not very difficult in comparison to like, here's what all the angels and demons can do. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot more difficult that way. Does Shadow have the ability to power null your weapons? Like, how did he bypass Alistair Kratos? So, I guess this is kind of a little bit of a shorthand knowledge, but this touches up on what we explained in the Protag swap video. Shadow has a description which confirms that he is able to essentially like counterattack like every strike that's like landed on his body. And the reason why weapons like melee weapons and various like swords and whatnot does not work on him, like when these attacks land, they just are nullified completely, is because he remembers them. The spells that cover his body are based on like knowledge acquisition. So if he has knowledge of your techniques or he's seen them before, they don't work on him. Yeah. Which is why firearms were able to shut down his core. That's why Dante is able to defeat him.
Yeah, I mentioned that a little bit in the video because I asked, like, could we argue the Blades of Chaos are unique enough to where they're not affected by his memory?
Well, so I was trying to come up. This is what I was trying to come up with a name for the chains weapons, because there is a set of chains used, I believe, by it was either the Japanese military or the Chinese military for some period of time.
I know what you're talking about. It's like where it has the sickle at the end of it. And
it's like a sickle with a chain. That would be similar enough to the Blades of Chaos, where you could argue it's effectively the same archetype of weapon. The Blades of Chaos would just be shaped differently and might have different properties, but that wouldn't be applicable here. Like that wouldn't matter. The point is specifically what the weapon looks like and what it functions like. And Shadow is going to see that and be like, well, that's just like a sickle and chain.
Yeah.
And
Alistair already doesn't work on Shadow in the main game, in case you're wondering why Alistair doesn't work. So that's kind of why, like, basically any bladed or even any sort of combat that would have existed back in like the Middle Ages, Shadow can beat.
Dark Souls is a little bit weird to go through.
Okay, let me close this off real quickly. Alright, there we go. For some reason, I had to disconnect. Let me close off my other tabs for now. Don't want that happening consistently.
Damn it.
It's
Noctis in Final Fantasy 1, how would he survive him? Go?
I'm still working on the personal Final Fantasy 15. I was actually going to do a research stream going through all the translations, but I never got around to it, so I should get to that at some point. Again, I do scale Final Fantasy 15 higher than most, easily higher than most, but Final Fantasy 1 itself is really weird because of Garland and Warrior of Light scaling. And especially since we have Stranger in Paradise, which is a prequel to 1 coming out pretty soon, so I gotta go through that technically. Maybe I'll make it, but if that protagonist swap happens, I'll probably call Neo in for that one. It's about time we collab there.
So if Shadow knows a weapon, he resists it. Well, technically, he doesn't just resist it. If he receives the weapon, he'll also not only like nullify the damage and the attack itself, he'll also counterattack you instantaneously.
What? Why did we DC again? Hang on. What's going on? This shouldn't be happening. Let's fix that up real quickly. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Going here. Max Payne Resident Evil? Maybe, but I don't know anything about Max Payne. Jack and Daxter surviving Doom 3. Actually, Kyle's actually really considering going through Jack and Daxter after he does Resident Evil. So after he's done with Resident Evil 3, I'll see if I can't get him to play Jack and Daxter 1.
Guts surviving Dark Souls. That's
None.
actually really funny to think about.
I have no clue on Berserk at all. I've avoided it like the plague.
He would. Uh, that would not turn out well.
But then Alistair, Ampe, Feetless, Trish to blitz a Beyond Demon King Dante. So, oh god.
Well, so the issue with that specifically is that Trish with feats alone, like just with her physiology and what she is as a demon, would already be like vastly faster than Kratos in the canon anyway. So the issue of like giving like
What the hell is going on? I've closed everything off. Hang on, I had another. Wait, is my brush streaming right now? I mean, thankfully the reconnects are really fast, so it's not too big of an issue. But yeah.
I don't see him streaming.
Yeah, that's weird. What the hell's going on? All right, well, I guess I'll have to be a little careful there for the time being. Hopefully, it doesn't cut out too often.
Wait, what are we doing, Eldon? What are we doing? Reggie, read the stream.
Yeah, it's a Q&A for the freaking protagonist off Mangler your stacks back a little bit. So even if Kratos could blitz Alistair, he has no weapons that would actually hurt him. So even if we give him that speed boost, this is a situation of like an impenetrable rock that he just can't touch.
Unstoppable force meets an immovable object situation.
Until the unstoppable force just happens to get stabbed over and over again by Shadow.
Yeah. Well, so the unstoppable force is also being drained of its life passively. So that's not good.
Okay, so Stranger or Paradise stream maybe, but we'll try and keep this in check for now. Kenichi, okay, Miso. I'd have to go through Kenichi again. That's 500 manga chapters. I do like Kenichi, but that is very long. But let's try and keep it on focus for now, guys. I will do a stream afterwards.
Elden Ring scaling when? Later.
Never. Luxim, the infamous Adachi as the culprit of JoJo Part 4. Okay, so for the time being, we're going to try and stick with games. Because if we start expanding into more what-if scenarios with other series, that might get me some heat with other fandoms. We're trying not to do that. God of War fans hate me, and DMC fans hate me, so we're just sticking with them.
The issue more so than that, it's not the reason I would do it. The issue of why we don't touch movies, TV, and comics is mainly due to continuity, their length and the time that it takes to go through, and inconsistencies.
That is true.
Like those are way bigger issues than people's like personal opinions on where you think this characters do or do not scale.
Easy for you to say. You're not the one getting the brunt. But if you're curious as to how he would do that, wait for us to finish Red Dusk's Part 1 commission, because he gave me $100 and we're giving him over 500 hours of content essentially, or at least work.
Yes.
Let's see here. Batman, Spider-Man swap, Wolverine, and Deathstroke swap places. Again, same thing. I'm not touching comics with a 10-foot fucking pole. Not even close. Fuck off with that noise.
Mangler proves Universal Ichigo win. when I start caring for Universal Ichigo and Bleach doesn't lose every 3A matchup.
Master Chief surviving Gears of War. That doesn't actually sound too bad to talk about, but we're going to have some disagreements probably on that one, so maybe, but not anytime soon.
You mean just ramen scores?
Yeah, because
it's gonna be like I've sweeped the entire game. Oh damn it! Here's the final boss.
Yeah, so that one could be fun though, because Chief would actually have a really good time in Gears of War.
Ichigo and Dark Souls, let's go, guys. We're trying to keep it to hack and slashes for the most part. Is this only
between hack and slashes? It is for now, because we want to at least, because that's what we're most familiar with.
We're trying to do that. Like, Dark Souls is possibly on the table, because we know that, but then there's also the fact that we would have to play, like, all the games all over again, which isn't a problem for me, because I played them, like, 5 or 6 times a piece.
I've only played them the one time because all I do is play a dex build and win.
But Zim's a bit of a different story because he doesn't like 3 even more than he despises 3 even more than I do.
I'm forcing myself to play it, and the only thing I despise worse than that is plasma weapons and Warhammer.
Didn't Castlevania have a hack and slash? It has Lords of Shadow, but I'm having trouble getting through Lords of Shadow. Also, Lords of Shadow doesn't have the ability to stream.
Guys,
or like record or capture footage.
guys, I'm gonna be honest. If you're asking for other potential hack and slash characters to make it into the potential roster we have, your best bets are going to be either Noctis from 15, Raiden from fucking Revengeance, and I know I had a third one in my head, but I can't think of a third one on top of my head.
Dante from Dante's Inferno.
Probably, yeah, Dante from Dante, who actually might actually make a decent win.
Or reboot Dante. You can throw reboot Dante in there as well.
Yeah, so like let's be clear here. For the most part, mainly hack and slashes and possibly some RPGs with hack and slash potential qualities, if you want to call them that.
Later.
Yeah, but mainly your static's back, but that comes later for sure. Let's see here. Hang on. Ichigo and Dark Souls. Let's go. Video Why and Pusa Solo's Fiction. Maybe for April 1st. Nightmare Before Christmas has a hack and slash game. No, stop it, Wanted Melon. Stop it.
What platform is that even on?
PlayStation 2. It actually looks kind of fun if for like, PlayStation 2 times. There are only a handful of hack and slashes though. Yeah, but so if you do combinations over and over again, you're going to get like, well, maybe like, I'm sure if I did the math, it'd probably come out to like 30 videos.
Yeah, well, so the thing is that if we're doing combination, keep in mind all the hack and slashes have at least 3 games. And that's just like, we're just talking about like one character going through like one specific series. Like, we're not talking about like, oh, we're taking Bayonetta going through God of War. We're not going to stick her in DMC. That's not necessarily the case. We could stick Bayonetta in DMC. We could stick Bayonetta in Ozra's Wrath. We could stick her in any one of these. Like, we could have enough scenarios just for Bayonetta or just for Dante alone.
Okay, so Mangler, your thing's back again. Try and fix that, please. Maybe try and put your mic sideways. I don't know. Hang on. Let me see.
It's the reason mic.
Have about Heavenly Sword and God of War. Every time I recall back to Gears of War, I remember Carmine always gets killed no matter which game. Lamau and Pusa versus Affinity from Bayonetta. Okay, those little minor versus matchups we might do again. I haven't found a tree worthy to take on the Yggdrasil. Not the Yggdrasil, the Clivefot. Yeah, so still looking for a tree to fight him. Neo keeps saying this name X Death. Maybe we might see that in the future. Anyways, how did Final Fantasy have a hack and slash? You can consider 15 hack and slashy. Not the best hack and slash by any means, but it has combat where I would consider it sufficient enough to be talked about. Sly Cooper surviving Batman, Arkham Quadrology. I know nothing about Sly Cooper. No. Okay, 2B. So, yes, technically, Nier is viable for an option. But I would have... technically, Nier fucking... I do have Nier Gestalt... Not Gestalt. I have...
Replicant?
Yeah, I have Replicant, so we could do Replicant as well. But, I don't know, let's call myself answer a little bit. But, Automata's the best bet. In fact, here, let me... I actually have 2 massive game books, and I'm getting a hold of all the novels, because I want to scale Nier Automata, but I probably have to go back and play for it. Of course.
I was gonna say, I think Nier's best ones among the like lower tier hack and slash characters would probably be like, specifically like Dante's Inferno and Metal Gear Rising.
I think Dante, but oh, good.
I was gonna say she do really well in both of those.
The other problem too, unfortunately, is that if you bring in a character like Nier or like 2B, that basically invites a philosophical discussion in and of itself, where you have to discuss how the character's actually going to react and what they might think of being stuck in that situation. Dante's Inferno probably might be the most interesting scenario to put her in, to be fair, because she has no afterlife or no concept of that, and she has to deal with like an eternal suffering pit of just humanity.
It's just like, yeah, we came here to discuss a fun little scenario, and now we have to explain for 20 minutes why the story may or may not turn out the same way.
Now let me explain to you the philosophical ramifications of the Inferno and how a character like 2B would actually react to the Inferno as a philosophical discussion.
2B in Final Fantasy VII. Trying to stay away from RPGs for now.
Although, to be fair... remake Final Fantasy VII is a little more hack and slashy, but we'll see what happens. No.
So what hack and slashy means does not mean that you have a sword or like a sharp object and you poke people with it.
Are you sure?
You have to have like some amount of an extensive combo system, not dialed behind like some weird convoluted meter. It can't be turn-based or anything like that.
Listen,
either.
even if it was a viable option, we wouldn't use it until its sequel comes out, which hopefully would end the remake saga. Okay, so War from Darksiders and God of War. I actually originally suggested we use War for God of War, but it was kind of shot down because these guys are still doing their Darksiders scaling as well in the background. And also, I'll be honest, there was no character you were going to put into Ascension that would have made Ascension better.
Yeah, the fact that they have so many flashbacks, the fact that basically the entire game starts in the prison, and then you realize, oh, only 8 out of the 30 missions are actually in the prison, and most of it is just like in some faraway town.
That was probably the worst. So we were talking behind the scenes, saying everything up, and I was like, okay, so where are we going to scale them? Going over that, but then I was like, all right, so how many levels is that? Mangler's like, okay, do we include flashbacks or no? And I'm like, no flashbacks. Those are too Kratos focused. Okay, we get 8 levels. And I'm like, what? What do you mean we get 8 levels?
Like 8 levels, and Bayo just gets to like leapfrog between the platforms and skip most of those 8 levels. So in reality, she has like 4.
In reality, she has one really obnoxious flying section.
She's just a speedrunner in reality.
All right, so when is the next protagonist swap? Not sure yet. We don't even know who's gonna be the next protagonist swap. If push comes to shove, it'll just be me jamming Kratos through DMC2. But we'll see what happens. Which actually, DMC2 will actually be a bit longer because I would at least put him through both discs. So we're gonna give him as fair of a chance as we can.
I forgot DMC2 forces him to go through Lucia's campaign.
So that'll be fun.
That's interesting.
Mikasa surviving Shadow of the Colossus. You don't really survive Shadow of the Colossus with that ending, but again, that might be in the future, and I don't give a fuck about Attack on Titan. Death goes to Azura's Wrath. Maybe. A fucking Corsi Symphoneer. She's basically the fucking cheerleader of this channel at this point. Noctis versus Kaus. I know who Kaus is. Don't know his scaling. I'm going to wait till I finish my Noctis video and then have Neo and the Final Fantasy crew complain about my existence again before we do that one.
Doing hypothetical ones, not versus matchups.
Didn't Nier was 2A? I've seen Neo's blog, but that's more hacks related for now, unless like I'm forgetting something. God Eater and Code Vein in Metal Gear Rising? Maybe. We'll see. Did not know those were the same. Kratos surviving Darksiders? Potentially possible, but again, we'll see what happens. God Eater's great, same with the game. Okay, good, let's skip that one. Final Fantasy VII R is an action game. Again, so technically action games are potentially viable, but they're not going to happen anytime soon. Don't expect those. Hack and slashes are not only faster to deal with, they're also a lot easier to work with.
One of the Dark Souls isn't hack and slash. Mangler demand explanations. So, assuming that's a serious question. To be a hack and slash, you kind of have to formulate most of your gameplay around combos and around like a character-focused system. Dark Souls doesn't really have combos. In fact, that's not the main focus of the game. It's not to do combos. It's just to do like basic and patient like reactable combat. It's not very proactive, which immediately debunks it as being that. Also, most of the appeal of Dark Souls is like gameplay and its functions is it's like world building, it's like various builds, and then like the various mechanics that make up like its customizable characters, which makes it an RPG. It's an RPG that has action adventure systems, but it's not a hack and slash.
All right, let me continue a bit here. Genesis from Final Fantasy VII and DMC4 and your own Final Fantasy VII. Again, no Final Fantasy for now. At least that's not 15, maybe, but not anytime soon. Dark Souls and hack and slash. Nero Goes to Hell and Dante's Inferno. That one is technically viable, but that's kind of boring, honestly. But
that sounds kind of funny, just because like Nero would be like, oh my god, my innocence has been shattered.
Kyrie, please listen. The plot is that he has to save Kyrie, but unlike Dante, who needs a guide, he just runs through the Inferno, slicing through the layers to get to Kyrie. Here we go. Alex Mercer surviving Infamous, potentially possible, but I don't know anything about Infamous. Are we counting mobile games? Let's try not to make this too complicated, but no, probably for now, no. 3, Dante and Ascension. At some point, we'll probably put Dante in the God of War, but we're not doing it in Ascension. No, after what happened, we'll start with chains.
Currently, I was gonna say currently we're as far as like Dante's protag swaps, he's planning on going into Bayo.
Yes, that is the idea going forward. Lucia, while DT encounters Bayo Angelos, would Bayo Angels confuse her as an angel? Actually, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's entirely possible.
Well, so it depends on what they would sense from her. If you argue she's divine, then yes, they would indeed mistaken her for an angel.
Can you show scans for Hax's Mansion in the Protag swap video? No. Because that would require me to edit the video. And you guys don't understand how many hours it takes to edit my and Mangler's Ramblades. I'm still editing a video that we recorded a week ago for DMC2's relevancy. And I'm still not done. I don't get paid for this, guys.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. That one's going to require tons of gameplay footage.
I got the gameplay footage, thankfully, but I'm just ripping it from one of my live streams. I'm sorry. I am not making that relevant to the discussions happening. By the way, weren't you... Oh.
I can put scans in like the specific chat where we're doing the protag swap, as like for reasons why, just for like speed and whatnot, just like basic stuff.
Well,
you want to?
Maybe we'll do it for like some really specific things, but we'll see what happens. Hang on. By the way, weren't you guys doing a Bleach X DMC video? That is Red Disc's commission. We're technically ready for the first recording, but then Kyle had some unfortunate accidents happening, and we couldn't record that since Kyle will be a part of that video.
He's indisposed at the moment.
Yes. You know what? Lady Goes DMC reboot. What happens next? Potentially possible. That's a potentially possible thing. How strong is Dante from Dante's Inferno? Okay, nothing off the top of my head right now, but if we were to do that scaling video, we would have to ask ourselves a legitimate question of do we use the Book of Revelation for scaling feats or not? And that's a little too religious, but it's technically viable to use.
It's weird. Technically you need to use like the actual Dante's Inferno.
Well, I have the actual book. I own Purgatorio and Paradiso. I bought it from Barnes & Noble. But the thing is that Dante's Inferno is based heavily on the mythology of Christianity, we'll say.
Does it pull from Revelations?
It kind of does a little bit, but in order to properly scale, Lucifer, we'd have to look at what he does in Revelations, which is, at least the one I remember off the top of my head, is with one swipe of his tail, he's able to knock down all the stars in the night sky or something like that. So, probably don't want to touch that anytime soon. Hang on, I gotta scroll up because you guys are actually really active in this one.
Yeah, so seriously, you guys are like fire ants.
Okay, Dark Souls is an RPG. Jill Valentine surviving Dead Space. Maybe in the future, not now. Doomslayer, another FPS series. I mean, I'm going to be honest, he'd probably stomp out most of them. Dante reboot goes to the main universe. Possible. Crisis and Halo protagonist swap. Again, maybe we'll do shooters in the future, but not planned for now. Dante and God of...
You need to give them a W.
They actually would probably still lose, all things... At least...
Well, okay, so... If we use pre-retcon, there is a point where Dante does start losing.
Let me go ahead and provide you the proper limbo scaling, Mangler.
Sim's just over here like, let me get my infinite speed to reboot Dante.
Well, I would be the one dragging Dante through there, so I would be giving them the best possible scaling arguments. Let's see here. Sora gets dropped in the Bayonetta. I am not touching Kingdom Hearts with a 10-foot pole.
He's an RPG character.
I
don't know how many times I gotta explain this.
You're gonna have to sit down and explain one of these days in the video about why you consider Sora's games to not be hack and slash outside of the obvious card game ones.
Outside of the obvious, start the game, pick a specific weapon with your customizable skills and class.
Okay, Dark Souls, take it easy, please. Hayabusa gets put on Dante's Inferno. Again, he'd probably stomp out most of it. Again, I don't really want to get too religious here. Marcus, Gears of War, Surviving Resistance Trilogy. Possible. You need an editor, Zim. I'm trying to do it myself to save money. Newhin was my other editor for a while, but unfortunately Newhin has a life and works as a pharmacist, so he just gives me awesome fan art, and illustrations.
I can read a couple of these as well.
Do you want to read the next couple ones then?
Well, I don't know. Am I a co-host? Or
Well, I was just trying to get through until there was a question you would elaborate on, but by all means, you can continue after Alan.
Sure. Right in Nier Automata. Potentially. What do you think, then?
Yeah, I mean, feasibly it's possible. They're also robots too, so that just makes it easier.
Ryu Hayabusa goes to the underworld. Goes to the underworld. The Archfiend Mundus.
So basically, he's saying Ryu and DMC.
So just DMC one then. But Kyle got hurt. Kyle has some issues going on at the moment that he's dealing with.
Yeah. So the issues were a few, like over the course of weeks. He did come back for some streams, so maybe it's getting a little better, but nothing too reliable off top. But it's okay, guys. He literally died and came back, so it's fine.
Naruto role-playing Bleach? No. Kratos in...
I'm sorry. That is silly.
I mean... We're trying not to do, like, Pico Combat's, like, game, per se, until we've gotten an English release that'll give us a more definitive, like, story scenario for what happens in the game. We can talk about, like, lore that comes out of it, but not so much like the sequence of events. Death and War tag team battle. That would be interesting. We could throw that in there, but again, we'll have to wait and see because we still have to set up most of the results of our Darksiders research. We're almost done with that, but it's going to be a little bit of time before we can like show it to you. Follow protagonist surviving System Shock 1 and 2. Isn't that the prequel to BioShock?
It's a spiritual prequel, to be fair.
Yeah. I'm weak. That's unfortunate. Where do you scale Dante? Anywhere from city to like planet to like.
There are plenty of arguments to be had for higher, but realistically speaking, you're probably better off leaving like maybe the city, the continent range, and that's only based off like one statement from the Gauntlets.
Yes. Have you heard of the Toho Project? I have heard of the Toho Project. I don't know anything about it.
Planet is possible to call the description too, but like it's best not to try and extrapolate too hard off one sentence.
Early Demi-Fiend surviving Undertale.
I am not touching Undertale at all, ever.
Trying to stay away from RPGs. Ryu Hayabusa and Kylo Kusanagi swap.
That you almost said that worse than I did the first time. That's the main protagonist from King of Fighters. Probably not. Also, why Ryu? He's not even the protagonist of the fighting game. That'd be Kasumi.
Hyperdimensional. Yes, Undertale, my favorite hack and slash. Hyperdimensional Neptuna has multiple hack and slash games. Oh.
If that's actually true, still no, but maybe we'll look into it.
Sparta teaches Baldur how enlightenment feels.
So, I think someone else asked, I think it was in the last stream or the stream before, about Sparta and Bayonetta or something, and it's like...
Yeah, it was a Fetty. He wanted to know how it would be there, and I was like, well, that's complicated.
We don't even have enough character with Sparta to, like, know what he would do, because, like, without the restriction of his, like, essentially brothers being against him, does he just nuke the verse outright and move on with his day? Like, what does he do?
Well, so we know, based on statements from Burial, that he has, like, a bit of a cold personality, but he's also, like, he has a proud sense of justice and, like, I guess, like, empathy for other people, but he's also cold, like, on a personal level. So it really depends on what we define to be his objective. That'll determine his reactions to people in the story. Zim, cough, cough, limbo scale.
I mean, I've already mentioned that before.
MK tournaments. We're not doing fighting games.
Although that would be a more reasonable request than the one above, to be fair.
God Hand and Azura's Wrath. That is possible, but like I'm pretty certain you're killing the God Hand protagonist.
Bayonetta, Ninja Gaiden.
That is possible.
That is again. So we will be doing Ninja Gaiden as well. I might stream actually the games. They're only $40 on Steam, and I came across quite a bit of money recently because Lord knows it doesn't come from this channel, except for you, Pimp. If you watch this, thank you, Pimp. Appreciate it. And
Altair from Assassin's Creed.
And Azra.
I'm
gonna say no. You call it a hunch.
It's been a very long time since I played Dead Space.
Nathan Drake surviving the Last of Us. Can he endure Abby's golf club?
I don't know. I don't think there are nearly enough walking sections in Nathan Drake for him to have the development to survive that battle.
I don't know, man. Shaking him with the force to shatter the planet. I don't know. I don't know if we have a chance here.
Can Sparta even react to bazillions? Is that a troll question? Like, yes, Sparta can react to light.
Come on, Zim. Guilty Gear when? I actually haven't played Guilty Gear in a fat minute. I was gonna buy some of the DLC characters, but never got around to it. Still, no story. Guilty Gear, no, bad.
God of War 4, but Kratos is now able to jump. So just the PC version of God of War 4.
Actually, yeah, God of War 4 is also on PC now. I technically can't play it on stream, and these guys keep forcing me to play one God of War game. I just don't really feel like it. Alright, well, Mangler's dying in the corner. Dante goes to Ninja Gaiden, but can only taunt. Okay.
Well, I was gonna say he's just gonna be throwing roses at the enemy the entire game.
I mean, I guess theoretically it's possible.
Well, we just it's gonna take a really long fucking time.
Zeus VSB surviving reboot DMC. You wouldn't even need VSB's. Well, maybe to fight Mundus, but you wouldn't really need VSB's key to.
Even if you use pre-retcon God of War, the God tiers still scale to like the highest scaling you could give the reboot.
Dante's Inferno and Devil May Cry. Okay, so that would depend on how we would have to argue for the Scythe and the Cross of Beatrice working on demons or not.
We could argue it working / not working. It wouldn't take me that long to go back to the games I have.
Are you gonna watch the animated movie as well or no?
I could do that.
Mundus surviving Bayonetta. So actually, we put these on hold for the time being. But the Urizen Gauntlet videos are still possible and will still happen at a later point. Since after he got kicked out of DMC, he's ending up in a separate universe now.
Yeah, the omniscient narrator has essentially decided that he thought it would be more interesting if Urizen was thrown into like a different verse. So, whenever Zim's ready to create a playlist for the Urizen Gauntlet video, and just sit down and label it, and then throw those in there. We can do Urizen's Gauntlet run in Bayonetta.
Virgil goes to Dead or Alive. Possibly if I'm feeling really bored, but Mangler was very against me doing Dead or Alive videos with DMC for the time being. Apparently he wasn't fond of me using the Extreme series for Dante's character.
No, it's because like fighting games. So this is the freaking problem with Ninja Gaiden, is that the current canon is Dead or Alive, which is a fighting game.
A beautiful fighting game.
Which breaks the one fucking rule.
To be fair, we can use Kasumi though, since she does appear in Ninja Gaiden 3 in the hack and slash as a playable character.
That is fine.
Love you, Kasumi. Anyways, does Persona Strikers count as hack and slash? Okay, so Mangler, if you're familiar with Strikers, you know those games where you fight tons of enemies and you just kind of kill them with super moves?
Yeah, just Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, so do you consider Dynasty Warriors a hack and slash or no?
No, that's literally just like a wave survival simulator.
Okay.
You're just like you're like the combos that you're performing have like no intricate depth. You're just trying to survive as long as possible and kill as many enemies as possible. The objective is not to style.
Alright.
Or to like test the limits of the combat system.
So Ninja walks into a room and gets hit in the face with a rose and hears Jackpot in the distance.
It just sounds so stupid.
Hasio goes to Devil May Cry. I have no clue what that is.
Arkham surviving with the Zelda. Alan.
I mean,
Seriously.
theoretically, Arkham would make it through most of it, at least. The Four Horsemen and DMC. Still, again, they're still doing the thing there with the research and the behind the scenes. Actually, Excalibur is supposed to release that video whenever he gets around to editing it. But Excalibur actually does edit and actually works as well, so he has like.
We haven't done any recording with him just yet.
Okay, well, this nice place to turn into another demon world.
You need these villains in situations such as Arya surviving DMC4. Well, so I think it's fine to write Arius into certain situations, but why? Like we just said, we were trying to create like specific scenarios involving the protagonist swaps using hack and slash characters exclusively for the present moment. And Alan, you keep submitting RPG characters and action adventure characters.
You're gonna get the Legend of Zelda fans angry with us later. They're actually gonna say Kirby isn't a hack and slash. But someone did ask for an antagonist swap at some point, but antagonist swap would be very weird in comparison because we'd have to reverse the entire scenario, and we'd have to that would have to be looking at way more issues than I really care to right now.
Versus Capcom 3 laughs in the background. At what? It's a Muso game? I mean, I guess? I just call it a mob simulator. What does a Muso game mean specifically?
It's basically just what you already said, where you fight mobs over and over again.
Yeah, the appeal, it's essentially just third-person wave survival. That's all it is. Nero surviving Castlevania. Not really a hack and slash unless we're using Lords of Shadow.
The Urizen Gauntlet comes out before Rugal versus Akuma. Yep. We already discussed about Kratos in Pinnacle of Combat.
See, I love how we've gotten like one question about like the actual like result or any actually not even about the result, just like some details involving one of the videos of the result. We did 3 of them. And everybody's just like, yeah, let's just see like hypotheticals.
In fairness, Mangler, we were very clear in the video, so.
I know, but like, you think you guys would like poke and prod our brains or something?
Mangler is not used to how Q&As actually go.
Well, I'm assuming people are always like curious. You're clearly seeking knowledge to some capacity.
So, just to clarify, I don't know about Mangler's rule. I don't know about Mangler's opinion on this one. I don't really feel like using novel characters, and also Chen's an antagonist as well, so that'd be kind of weird.
Novel characters? I don't really like using them either. The thing about novels is that you kind of have to operate or assume like the parameters for how the character's going to act is also would fit within the context of how games show their settings to be, which isn't exactly cohesive. Because we'd be arguing for how what's it called? Freaking Chen would act and how he would fight based on how he's portrayed in the novel, which I don't think is entirely reliable.
Don't really have the answer off the top of my head, Miso, for that one. I'd have to go through Ninja Gaiden because I am more familiar with Dead or Alive than Ninja Gaiden. I'll probably go through it on stream at some point.
Mangler, how much time is needed to record search for protagonist swap series? I'm assuming you're asking how much time it takes to like research, like for a protagonist swap series. So it kind of depends. I think among all of the current hack and slashes, the only one that I would need to do extensive research for like a first time going through is like Ninja Gaiden. I've actually gone through all the five of the 6 major hack and slash games before, and all the times I've gone through them now are either my second or third times going through them. So it's easier to contextualize information involving the scans, whereas Ninja Gaiden is the one I would have probably the greatest trouble with. In terms of how much time it takes, that depends on how many games I do. Usually I would say it can take anywhere from like we're talking the research, it could take a couple weeks to like a month. Setup usually can take a couple days to a week at most, if I'm committing time to that and I'm not doing anything else.
It takes like maybe like 4 hours to say day before we actually start like actually recording, and then like the last 2 hours is the actual recording. In case you're wondering, what?
I was just reading Miso Soups. He's saying, "I'm hitting you with infinite hypotheticals." Lovely.
In case anyone's wondering like why like Mangler's referring to himself there, most of the series we've done I have a layman's understanding of, with the exception of DMC and potentially Ninja Gaiden and Bayonetta, but Mangler's going through Bayonetta more detailed after after just talking about it for so long, and since he actually owns a Switch while my peasant ass over here just owns a very, very nice PC.
Yeah, how dare you? How dare you not spend $300 plus all these additional fees for basic stuff that should have already been included with this gimmick, I mean console of a thing. How dare you not spend that kind of money?
I was honestly so tempted to buy a fucking Switch Lite just so I could be on the same page with you guys.
Don't. Just buy a series, buy a Series X and then just emulate.
Well, I was thinking did you just say it just emulated?
Yeah.
Mangler, I thought you were here, not Kyle.
Somebody's gonna rep his opinions in his absence.
No, if I end up getting a new console, it'll probably be a PlayStation, because almost all of the other, I have freaking I have an Xbox, but I also have a PC that can play most of Xbox's exclusive titles anyways, and I've used Steam now a lot too, so I'm kind of thinking I might just buy a PlayStation just for its exclusives.
Or you could just get a Series X and just emulate.
Well, I can't emulate a PlayStation, Mangler.
Yeah, you can.
You can't emulate the PlayStation 4.
You can emulate 2.
But you can't emulate I mean for their more recent things, Mangler. I don't mean for... Well, I mean, I already know you can emulate their old stuff. I've been...
I don't know if you can emulate 3s, but given...
Yeah, because for some reason, the PS3 decided I'm going to be the most unfriendly interface you have ever seen in your life. Hang on.
What?
No, go ahead.
Phantom surviving Azura's Wrath. Why would Phantom go to Azura's Wrath? I mean, that would be a weird situation for Phantom to be in Azura's Wrath.
He probably would actually make it farther than you realize, but... Azura's question. Go ahead.
Mangler Slash is very niche, so there's not a lot to work with. I mean, we've done 3 of them already, and...
I don't think you guys understand the release schedule is not as fast as you guys seem to think it is.
Okay, so if we're talking just the protagonists, Kratos has he has DMC3, DMC1, DMC2, DMC4, and DMC5. He's got 5 games he can go through. Bayonetta can go through the 6 Greek Pantheon games and 4 respectively. And then Dante can go through the 2 Bayo games, so that's 6 plus 5.
Well,
that's 11.
Let's not be fallacious here. By the time we get around to Dante, it'll probably be Bayo 3 already out.
Yeah, no, that's 13 scenarios right there. What do you mean it's niche and there's not a lot to work with?
By the time this year's done, we probably still won't be finished with all of it.
Yeah, no, they're and then we'll still have to swap Bayo into DMC, or we'll still have to
there's plenty of things you can do here with the 3 characters, but for the time being, we're not looking past hack and slashes.
I'd say probably the most likely of the 2 outside of those 3, the most likely that we could go over aside from Metal Gear Rising is probably just again the DMC reboots and Azura's Wrath.
Yes. A Scarecrow visits Azura's Wrath.
Yellow Merrick surviving Prototype. Force Unleashed is a hack and slash. No.
Although it has a better argument than some of the other ones, to be fair.
It has a much better argument, but no.
Also, just to be completely upfront, I'm pretty sure he would destroy Prototype, at least AP wise.
You in here? I do not think so.
If he hasn't messaged, he's probably not here right now.
Not to mention, you need to go through like 3 other series for Ninja Gaiden as well, just to see like scans. But I do have
Well, we would if you didn't already do most of the work for us.
buy a Steam Deck and play Switch there. I was actually gonna say that's not a bad idea. You could just buy a Steam Deck.
Guys, I do not make any money off of YouTube. You have the closest I make to money on YouTube is $100 and like $110 from Azra from like Pimp Demon. So make no mistake, most of my finances are only good right now, and I can spend money because of like my FastFood helping me out with college payments. Because bless them, they refunded a lot of my $4K from last year. Bless them. I never thought I'd be thanking the government so much.
Griffin and Nightmare and Shadow go to Reboot DMC. So just the summons then.
Red Dusk.
So just V.
I see Red Dusk comment right down there. Let me read that real quickly. Red Dusk, you did provide commission for the chair. Thank you. And we are working on your video, but you are kind of an outlier when it comes to finances for YouTube. But you will get your video as soon as we get Kyle back. Well, one of them, because we're doing the whole series.
Him from the Shadow Realm.
As soon as he responds for the 3rd time.
Maybe I need to go beat up his Cyber Dragon deck. I'll just insult him in DMs and be like, your Cyber Dragons were never the true machine archetype. That goes to Ancient Gears. And then I'll give it like 3 days, and if he doesn't respond, then he's gone for good.
Alright, so let's did you already read the Griffin and Nightmare and Shadow go to Reboot DMC?
Yeah, I did. V is not needed, just Griffin, Shadow, Nightmare. If you think he's not needed, then you kind of already answered the scenario.
V probably would be very likely among the DMC characters. Either Nero or V would. Oh my god, Newhan! I just read what you posted. What the fuck?
If I understood correctly, it starts with hack and slash characters and possibly later to other genres. Yes. Why is Afetti the only one who understands this? Come on, guys.
All right. So DMC 5 personalities. Oh, they would just. If you mean the memories, the nightmares, like they would stomp Reboot DMC like nothing.
My computer has malware. That is unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. Oh, have you tried the monetization? Oh, motherfucker. Let me tell you something about monetization. I not only don't get enough views for it to matter, but the only videos that I monetize are like super long, and I have to make sure they can be monetized. Actually, YouTube loves me. It's just that fucking Italy and the fucking Vatican hate me. That's like the...
Stay away from Fist of the North Star, motherfucker.
Yeah, like I was gonna monetize the Fist of the North Star video I'm working on because I'm putting a lot of work into it, or at least more work than average for research. And I'm like, well, shit, I could monetize it, but then I'm gonna get a letter from the Pope telling me... No, but the Vatican and Italy would have my ass on a platter.
Yeah, I get it. The Vatican and all their 2 supporters.
Just I wish. Anyways, like I don't monetize the streams either because I don't really want the streams to like be broken up with ads. But I do put monetization on videos whenever I can. But it doesn't make that much money, guys. Also, Zim, how do you want your lolly? Okay, so first off, I have not asked you for any commissions in a while. Let's get that clear right now. That is a lie, deception, and I do not ask for lollies. That is true.
I want a joke scenario. I'm assuming, sorry. So what are you thinking, Miso? Jean goes to Darksiders? I mean, does Jean fit the conditions of a protagonist? I mean, she's a playable character. Well, I guess.
Yeah, we just be putting in Bayonetta, but slightly more aggressive.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say harder witch time to activate, but then I'm like, no, that's a gameplay mechanic. Radon goes to the DMC reboot.
Again.
I'm gonna have to you guys are gonna have to wait for me to purchase both platinum tickets worth of fucking Angel Halo rings before I can do that one. Because
have you not followed Rodon yet?
No, because it requires 9,999,000 Halo.
Are you using the cheese strat for Bayonetta 1?
I have not figured out what the cheese strat is, but I will go.
I can tell you later if you want. It's pretty easy.
Yeah. Did anyone see the Nero versus Cinder from Reboot video? The guy who made video says Nero wins, but it's a close fight.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say that it is wrong and leave it at that for now.
Yeah, that's the short version. Sean and Bayo spit roast Kratos.
We only have one spit roasting picture. I can't afford another one. Oh, I could afford it, but like YouTube, I'm surprised YouTube didn't give me an email for that fucking thumbnail.
Cool. I hope things go well. Go well with what?
I think it's referring to my financial situation.
Oh.
Like, listen, I have some money saved up right now, and that's why like, I didn't even buy King of Fighters 15, because I kind of want to buy Stranger in Paradise on PC to play it, but I might just get Ninja Gaiden because I got some extra money to splurge. Continue.
Yes. Jean is pretty much banded with less charisma.
Ouch.
Yes. Heavenly Sword goes to Darksiders. I have not played Heavenly Sword. I cannot speak on what category that would or would not fall into. Ryu goes to fight Radon. Man. That's more of a versus matchup than it is a protag swap.
Yeah, I do have it censored, but it's censored. Like, so, you had made me a second very sexualized thumbnail for the Ruined King vid stream, but I never posted it because I'm pretty sure that one would have gotten me flagged.
Because apparently the Argosax one didn't get you flagged.
Well, I think that's because it's DMC related, but I feel like a League of Legends video might get more traction, and then I would get in trouble.
Maybe they were just like, hey, Argosax unironically is the perfect being, so the idea of anyone performing assault on him is literally out of the figurative imagination.
That is true. They know it's so fake that it could never be actual.
By the way, guys, did you see the OCG list? Are you planning to do a reaction? Also, which one would have been chosen I did for Dark Souls? The one from Dark Souls 2. So, for the first one, I have seen the OCG list. I don't know about... Have you seen it, Tim?
No, I'm not.
Planning to do a reaction? I don't think so, unless...
Look, the only reaction you'll get is my joy when TCG list comes out and they finally ban Dragoon. Please, God.
That guy's not banned in the TCG. Also, which one win the chosen I did for Dark Souls 1 or the Bearer of the Curse from Dark Souls 2?
I made a terrible video on this like 5 years ago, actually, and I'm under the belief that the guy from Dark Souls 2 wins.
I mean, you're right. Yeah, Neo's gonna hate me for that, but like, one of the things that Dark Souls 2 also did better was hacks. There's more spells, there's more abilities, and there's just more powers in general offered to the Bearer of the Curse. He's arguably the most...
You mean the true monarch?
The true monarch. I call him the Bearer of the Curse because it's cooler.
Well, I call him the true monarch because I think that's cooler. Oh, you're just a bearer of a curse. Oh,
they just shot Anaconda straight in the neck, stone cold. Good, this means they're one closer to killing Needle Fiber.
Wait. Did Anaconda get banned on OCG?
He did.
Fuck! I just spent $10 on him!
Well... Basically, the KO is to DMC. Female Kratos.
Oh, yeah, hang on. I gotta give Kyle's 11 real quickly. 1 second, guys.
It's the spare embodied, not artifacts. I know.
There you go.
Artifacts is the generic term we use to refer to him as, like, a being. Dawn is better than Bayo's, and, you can use it as a thumbnail. YouTube doesn't even know who you are. That's debatable.
So the problem is that you think that? Dude, I'm still getting copyright claims on my 5-year-old Fist of the North Star video. At least someone in Italy knows who I am.
Someone in Italy is like, damn, this man.
No, like, I was just there chillaxing. I get an email. Your Fist of the North Star salad video got claimed. And I'm like, what do you mean it got claimed? It's been up for 4 years.
What were they doing? Sitting around on pins and needles?
Damn.
Sorry, the game is called Bayonetta, not Jean.
Hey, Kyle. Hello.
Hello, everyone. I know I'm late. What's being discussed? How are you guys? How are y'all pre-possessing?
I don't know what the prepossessing thing is, but it's just a protagonist swap Q&A, which will probably be around for another maybe hour. I'll say. I don't want to make this like the whole 6 hours because I know most of these questions aren't related to protagonist swap, but it's a little more chill. All right, so nothing going on.
How the zombies doing?
Oh, I
I
thought,
do not currently possess zombies
fuck,
yet.
dude, I was hoping they were gonna limit Predaplant to one, so I only bought the one copy. Damn it, did they really fucking ban it? I haven't even used it in my Blue Eyes Fusion deck yet, but I'm just so annoyed because I just fucking bought it.
Hmm. That is rough. Oh, that is.
Hang on, guys. What the fuck just happened to me? Hang on. Son of a gun. I was rolling my eyes and now they're all blurry completely. Like, what the fuck just happened to me?
I don't know, but oh my god, I can't believe I survived that.
Okay, I think I fixed it. I don't know how people deal with these human bodies. Okay, so Kyle up to RE3 now. Who is supposed to be better than Naruto? Prepossessing means beautiful, pretty. Well, that's clearly not for me. Well, that should be less time then. Dude, try to sell it. I don't think anyone's going to buy Predaplant if he just got banned on OCG. I think most people are going to be aware that that ban's on the way.
Okay, not better than Naruto. Get out of here. There's always just difference of opinion. I would probably say personally, I think like Naruto's like a better design character, but there's certainly arguments for both.
Are we
character is,
talking
like,
character
not deformed.
design or are we talking character writing? Like, what are we talking here?
Character writing, because Naruto starts out like sort of a brick wall, but then like evolves significantly. But Sasuke also starts at like the same starting point, relatively. They both
Nonsense.
start out pretty shallow, almost like kids do, and then they grow up.
Is this DMC related? Like, was the protagonist swap 2 and 3? That's the last 2 protagonist swaps I did. That's what the
Like
Q&A is
if
for.
DMC2 Dante was in DMC3 and DMC...
No.
No. So what it is that it's a protagonist swap between main characters of hack and slash franchises with other main characters of hack and slash franchises for now. Once we have done all of those matchups and we have documented like other research from certain series for an expansion, we will then start branching out a little bit more.
Technically, we can do Blood Rain 2. Technically, I do have those games. Still have to beat them, but technically that is viable.
I mean...
I'm sorry, that just came into my head right now.
Is that a hack and slash? Can you really do combos?
You can. Well, I'll tell you why I get to Blood Rain 2. Blood Rain 1 has some very basic combos, to be fair.
The MC4 finally going to be put in the ring. Look, well, so here's the thing. The thing is that we're using DMC3 Dante. So what would happen in this situation is that like basically if for some reason Dante was not able to make it through a scenario in one of these swaps, we would just upgrade him to his next strongest version and see how that would work. Problem is that for a lot of hack and slash characters, there's nothing really that their next upgraded version can do that alleviates the problem or changes the outcome. They either stomp and then stomp harder, or they like almost win and then they still almost win but lose, or they get stomped and then get stomped slightly less hard.
Yes. Hang on. Zooming on your hands, etc. Actually, so if you were on the Discord server and you were up late at night, you actually saw me and Kyle doing face reveals with old family pictures. Mangler wasn't there for, Devil was. So the only two people we haven't seen in person are Mangler and Devil, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I don't really know how a machine would look like in person, so I guess I'm just curious how Devil would look like.
Oh, that's a good one.
If you guys do Devil May Cry 4 and 5, where it has multiple protagonists, are you guys going to use multiple swaps for those games? We'd probably just do it in one video and just talk about going through both. Well, DMC4 is a lot easier to talk about than 5 is, at least.
Well, so DMC4, technically speaking, like even though it has multiple protagonists, it has like one like story. It has like one story scenario like run through, whereas it's a bit different in DMC2 because DMC2 has multiple protagonists, but each protagonist has like their own playable levels and stuff like that. Like I think a fair example would be 2 and 5. 4 is weird because Dante just retreads like near. Yes, by technicality, they would be protagonist swaps.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, like, technically 4 would not be hard. 5 might be, but 4, no.
Yeah, there's also, keep in mind, like, the protagonist swap can include other characters within the franchise that are protagonists. So, you could throw Jean.
Well, actually,
throw Nero.
with DMC5 in particular, actually, with DMC2, we're going to talk about how the other characters react to Kratos in general. And then in 5, how Kratos interacts with the other characters too. So we're gonna have to explain how Nero and V would interact with Dante randomly being gone.
I just want to imagine he runs into some random fire on the island. He's like, "Fire up the gods! The gods' reign has come to an end," and everyone around him is just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I mean, you're not wrong, but like, do you even know what you're talking about?
I was there too. Well, Azra, you didn't show your face there. Like, you didn't provide any pictures. It was just me and Kyle for the most part. In fairness, though, yeah, you were there. So pretty sure hello poster. So pretty sure Dante, for example, can survive God of War universe. Yeah, he should be able to survive it just fine. But Dante and the God of War was so obvious, but also such a massive fucking stomp. Because even if you could argue they could hurt him, with the new scaling that comes out for DMC and the new evidence, they would never be able to properly kill him.
And everything they do that could create... Every point of disadvantage they can cause just creates advantage. It's like a character where every time you hurt them, they get stronger, but then they also can just, like... They can take every aspect of, like, negative consequences of damage and turn it into positives. Like, that's just stupid. That's completely and totally stupid.
That is true.
So, say if you guys do Kratos and Devil May Cry 5, are you going to cover only Nero's levels in one video? So Kratos, this is why I said like the MC5 is a little weird, because so what we might do, I think what we'll do, if Zim agrees to this, is that we'll take Kratos and we'll throw him through Nero's runs first, like Nero's like little like run scenario, and then we'll throw him through, I guess. Well, we can either do this, so we can either throw him through scenario number like Nero scenario, and then when he gets to the end of Nero's missions or the intermission between like another level, he just gets like teleported to the section where like V's level starts, and then like that continues until like missions like mission 6 or mission 13, where multiple playable characters can be played on like certain levels.
We'll discuss that in more detail when we get to it. That's all ways away.
Yeah, that one's up for discussion.
I try not to give too many invites to the Discord server, not because of individual people I know here, but because, like, whenever I give an invite to the Discord server, some random gets a hold of it and, like, usually joins out of nowhere.
Y'all did Metal Gear Revengeances. We did not do Metal Gear just yet, but it's definitely possible. It qualifies and meets the conditions.
Actually, at this point, given how low Metal Gear scale is, like, his best protagonist swap would probably be fucking, ironically enough, the girl from Blood Rain, since they would be in the similar tier range, as far as I know right now.
Yeah. Not nightmare because it won't cause disruption. Who's enters God of War timeline? Everyone gets passive fear. Oh my God.
That's technically accurate, but yeah.
I can't do that, unfortunately, so Zim won't give me God power. This is true.
I try to keep my mods, like, consistent for the most part, and, like, within relative range of control.
Sorry, I was laughing at Nuins. He's like, I have a better idea. Let's put Kratos in the Animal Crossing universe.
Kratos' first act would be killing Nook for the debt that he forced on him.
You're like, how do I build my house?
This is the most aggressive shoveling I've ever seen.
What do you need? I need to pay rent.
Nah, like, probably the most... for a joke fucking protagonist swap, probably the one that I'm kind of thinking of, but what might be a little too silly, would be putting in Steve from Minecraft into one of these games.
No fucking course. Dante would destroy the other words. Pretty much how the character would react Kratos to the universe, but you already mentioned that. I mean, we'll go over it in detail when we put him there.
Teleported? That's lame.
Any character swaps for DMC Devil May Cry? So DMC Devil May Cry is weird because, like, it has weird speed scaling with weird, like, attack scaling. So the only characters that we could throw in there are, like, the Metal Gear characters, Nier, and probably Blood Rain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thankfully, there's a little trilogy to work with.
Yeah. So there's like, they actually have their own little. I guess they do have their own little combination of, like, characters that we could toss. And then I guess if we scale, well, I think Dante's Inferno, if you don't just stuff, like, from its, like, specific, like, source material that it draws from, you can probably get it around similar levels.
Yes. And Poos looks curiously and animalistically when see several people in fear.
Hey, the Impusa just came there as, like, a blood worker. It's just like, it honestly just wants people to donate their blood. That's all it wants.
And they'll take it by force.
Whether you want to or not. Dude, just put Kratos in Farming Simulator. He'd be happy there. I feel like if you gave him, like, a training arena, someplace where he unironically would probably find it, like, pretty peaceful. He's kind of zenned out. Dude, he'd fit more into farming than fucking Goku does. He'd be pulling those seeds up like a crazy man. Well, Arkham and Dead by Daylight. Arkham, what have I done wrong? Just chasing people around, slasher style.
Poor Arkham.
Sorry. This is really funny.
He's just trying to survive, trying to be a good person, and, like, no.
If only Gundam Dynasty was allowed in. That sounds really silly. Mangler, did you know Rambo was able to somehow ram a tank into an airborne helicopter head on? Yeah, I heard about this.
Oh wow, I actually completely forgot I have Uno. Oh, sorry, don't mind me. I got a notification on Steam, so I check it out. It's like, oh yeah, I have Uno apparently. That
Only
did
the
not
character-
come with my Xbox.
Only the character could say, Amuro, I see demons, so many demons. You know what we need? I think what we actually we could prompt this here because it's like a Q&A question. I'll prompt the idea of this. If you guys would like to see my silly little, well, I guess my fun little scenario idea, just ask. In Puza enters Bleach, Yuha, Mike Almighty could not foresee my current madness. Just trying to hear that man say that just seems so stupid and ridiculous.
The Almighty gets negged so freaking badly the more you look at it.
What if Baki was fighting in a Pusa all this time?
I understand that joke.
I don't care for guys who stink like blood, Kratos. You will not see the end of this day. I will have my revenge. I think we said in the protag swap that lady unironic, like she either dies or she's like Kratos' best friend, depending on the situation. Because depending on how they start the conversation, he might have complete and total agreement with the fact that she wants to kill her own father. He'll be like, "Well, I too also wish to kill my father."
I think you and I are on the same page here.
Are any hacks missing from VSB's Dante's profile page? Yes, several.
But that would have to be discussed more in depth in a separate video when we finish that one. unless you have like one on top of your head you can mention.
Self-actualization. Also, your brother's streaming now, I think.
Let me see. Yeah, make sure that.
I see a purple icon on Discord, and that's the stream one.
Yeah, he's got his ad and everything.
I guess who's being Virgil and who's being Dante. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, Mangler's Dante.
This is a cat fight with Bale.
Actually, at some point, we probably should go back and look over that that DBX and talk about that one. Actually,
do we really cover DBXs on this channel? Because
we don't. But I mean, like technically, it is a DMC matchup, even though they admitted it has no research behind it.
Well, so that's the thing. Like, they have no research; they're putting no effort into it. So I don't see why we should.
Fair enough. If you want to be lame.
Zeus is Kratos' father? You didn't know that? Wait, Red Dust, have you played the God of War games? They state this at the end of God of War 2, and I guess in Ghost of Sparta, but Kratos just, like, forgets it. But, you know, you can chalk that up to God of War, Ghost of Sparta being made afterwards, and Kratos just forgot some insanely important plot element.
Well, doesn't he learn it at the end of the game? Wasn't there like literally a like cutscene where you find out that oh yeah, that's my dad?
No, see, his mother tells him who his father is, and that's what causes her to be transformed into the monster at like the beginning of the game in Ghost of Sparta, which takes place, if I'm not mistaken, like months, potentially years before the events of God of War 2. So, as of that game releasing, we have this weird, inconsistent, like, response from Kratos in character, where he's genuinely surprised by the fact that his father is Zeus, even though he was already told his father was Zeus by his mother. He tries to pick up the sword. Sparta, Trish, didn't your daddy teach you how to use the sword? That's actually pretty good.
Oh, yikes. No, I don't want you guys seeing that. No.
And birth Zeus? That sounds rough. Are there anything other than self-actualization? That's one of the main ones.
I mean, if we sat down and looked through it one by one, we could probably find more things that are missing. But, like, the thing is that we don't have it right off the top of our heads to look at, or, like, we don't have, like...
I know what I was going to say. So, how would you guys like to see I guess it's scripted in a similar. Well, it's actually a different set of circumstances. It's not a protagonist swap, and it's not a Years in Gauntlet video. So it's not a faction video, and it's not like a story scenario, like a scripted story. I guess game scenario, like the protagonist swap. This would be a sort of world scenario involving invasions, and what would you how would you like to see an invasion scenario featuring Mundus or like Argus Axis forces or I guess Citizens in like another hack and slash? Preferably one that has like supernatural powers or something. So, and we could do Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, but that would literally just be like modern America versus the entire demon world.
So, what is Mangler's profile picture supposed to be? I just saw that one.
That's a good question. Yes, that's a really cool idea. Interesting question, English. Yes. So I thought of this for a while back because we had pondered and poked the idea of doing, what was it, like Mundus's faction versus like Mundus's demons versus Jubileus's angels.
Yeah, that
And,
was
like
the
faction
idea.
versus faction. But then we realized, like, wouldn't it be more interesting if it was like sort of an all-out war invasion scenario where DMC invades another verse and tries to, or more specifically, not DMC, just Mundus, because it would be consistent for a Demon King to be like, yeah, I'm kind of unsatisfied with what I have right now. I'm just gonna go take over this little like universe over here. Look, and then they do that. Gonna be any series you guys know? Any series that we know that's a hack and slash. But yeah, we actually know enough, more than enough about Mundus to where we could basically script any excuse or reason for him being there. And he has the power sets and the abilities to justify any entrance into any universe. That's kind of what's so great about like Mundus's power set is that like he has his own abilities to make any plot happen. Like he's very useful in that regard. Not interested in Argus X? Oh, that's unfortunate.
That is fake news. Anyone who said
Rogus
that is
X
lying.
Composite DMC. Replace that R with an A, and you're good.
All
Okay,
right.
there we go.
So just to clarify, I don't think I answered this question. Mangler's profile picture is actually supposed to be a fucking dog.
A puppy.
It is super hard to fucking tell, and it took me a long time to figure it out. But yes, at some point I ended up discovering, and then Mangler confirmed it is in fact a dog.
What if I just changed it?
You've had that same profile picture for 2 years, maybe 3. Are you really gonna change it?
The time is nigh.
I literally met you with that profile picture 3 years ago.
This is true. But
I still always find it funny that we first met, like debating against each other because Devil had to bring in his friend to help him.
well, does that make you feel better about yourself?
Aww, he's so nice. Anyways, Yujiro and Fist of the North Star. I'm gonna be honest, Yujiro would not make it that far because even the Lightspeed Baki statement is very iffy in context. Like, I think it's usable, but it's like I've been rereading it, and honestly, if you take it at face value, it kind of gets slapped in the face because they still treat breaking the sound barrier as super impressive. So it's kind of a little weird there, but it's possible. But it's a little weaker now this time around, at least for me. Dude, is it maybe right? Mangler, you kind of look like Dante. Mangler's Dante IRL confirmed. What the fuck?
You would not say that if you saw my face. I look more like Sparta.
Oh, yeah. I think Ozra asked, like, who had the worst stab between, like, Invincible, fucking Baki, Lady, and I don't know who, I think Kratos? Like, if we're being honest, the worst... Invincible's dad isn't that bad, actually. Like, let's just clarify right now. If you've read the comics, Invincible's dad is actually pretty chill. He just had one, like, like he has to get over centuries worth of like fucking beliefs before he can like actually like be chill again.
And this would be cool. I would say Ladies Pappy. I would say Mundus. That's a dog. What is the dog? Unironically asking the question, what the dog doing? The dog is doing what the dog always does, and that is sleeping.
Yeah, no, it's really fucking weird.
He's sleeping backwards, and his arms are folded across his chest, like little, like they're folded like a praying mantis, basically. Like he looks more like a human, basically like human being laid to rest in a coffin, just like so peacefully, except he's just like snoozing. I'm trying to say he's basically dead.
I thought it was like a cloud and peanut butter. I thought it was like a fucking art piece for a while when I first saw it. I was like, I don't know where the fuck he has art.
Everyone thinks it's just like something like really really super detailed. Like maybe it's like an abstraction of something. I'm like, no, it's just a dog.
I genuinely thought it was like an abstraction of faces at first because the fucking dog and the fucking bed are so blended in together you can't tell it's actually two separate objects.
How is the dog laying down? Okay, so if you zoom in, you see the brown stuff in there. That's a bed. And I was taking a picture of someone like laying with the dog laying between them, like their legs, and this is what it looks like. His head is at the top, like left-hand corner.
All right.
It's almost been 4 years since I've been to this channel. I was just thinking about how you met you with my other name, which was Delusional 2.0.
Oh, I actually remember that name. Yeah, no, been around for 5-6 years now. Actually, my birthday for this channel actually recently happened a couple days ago. Completely forgot about it. Man, I'm still... Maybe this year will finally be the year we get How Powerful Samus Aran. Maybe. Been 4 years in the works, technically not, but been 4 years. Maybe this is the year we finally do it.
Well, you want to see us talking about why Mundus Solo is your favorite hack and slash verse for an hour? Listen, it's not my fault that the DMC writers decided to just keep giving abilities to every single character and then was like, all right, so almost every Demon King has like all the powers and abilities of their servants, and then has like weird arguments about being able to govern all the powers and abilities of the demon world. Have fun.
Nah, listen.
And plus all the extra scaling.
I mean, he's not wrong. Yeah, limited to hack and slash for now. Like Omniman's pretty chill and all the Vegemites could, and the problem is that they are messed up. They are just pretty messed up code. Invincible in itself, and Vegemites are not bad. What the bloody hell is an abstraction? It's usually like a drawing of something that's so distorted that it seems different by comparison, like in comparison to the original thing.
The idea in the canvas doesn't seem like specific. It's very much open to interpretation.
Yeah, so that's what that is. I thought it was art or a blanket. Yeah, exactly. We all thought it was art or something. No one ever thinks it's a dog in a blanket because he took the picture in such a way that it's almost impossible to tell what the fuck it is.
I had to fit it in. The problem is that I had to fit it inside the frame, and it's not intended to be fit inside of that frame. So it's like it's weird. Let me see if I can get the. Oh wait, I think I can find. I just have to find that picture. Hold up.
I mean, I'll say, don't get me wrong. Like, you took a good picture, but it's just so fucking weird to see.
No, there's a better dog picture that I have.
Hang on.
The only way I can solve this problem is with another dog picture. No other picture will suffice.
Hang on, my brother's sending me a message.
Is this camera roll? Yeah.
Sorry, guys. There you go. Hey, there's nothing crazy in our DM, so it's fine. You might as well just scrap Samus Aran. No, because technically I have to collab with Neo on something, and that might be the only thing we can collab on anytime soon. So maybe I'll be like, hey Neo, I got all this research done. Add more to it. The first team, the DMC5 was announced on E3. That was a great stream. Fuck, I still can't believe it's been 3 years. Cause I remember, I was so fucking hyped for that. That was great. That was one of my earlier. I don't even think I showed my face in that stream, right? Like that was before I started showing my face. Cause the first time I showed my face was in a League of Legends video or a League of Legends stream, actually. Speaking of which, I might stream League of Legends later. We'll see what happens.
Where's the dog at?
Back Omni-Man so we'll be here for like another 25 minutes or so, since that'll be like a whole 2 hours, I think, regarding the stream. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that'll be 2 hours on the dot.
Yeah, well, we'll just make it 2 hours. And then next time we'll announce this earlier in advance, so if more people want to join, then they can like actually come and ask questions.
We got a pretty huge.
Oh yeah, we got way more than the average, but like I feel like maybe if I said it better, maybe we might have got a few more views in.
Well, what if I select this as an option?
How old is the dog? How old is your dog, Mangler?
Fuck, I'm really math.
All right, so while he's doing that, oh yeah, I'll be doing a more casual stream later. I'll be doing a more casual stream later tonight for sure.
Mute myself until I come up with the answer.
All right, I will continue to answer questions. I remember the first Zim video I ever watched was Virgil's and Evil. Been a fan since. Thank you. Apparently, a lot of people didn't appreciate that one. It's awesome. It's clearly your fault for finding those scans. RA3 stream today? I don't think we'll have it today. Kyle usually streams on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. Or my Tuesday or Wednesday. I remember when I was arguing with 2 people on PlayStation because they said SDET beats Nero. Gross. My first video was Moon, This is Universal. Don't change it, Mr. Mangler. It's an icon. It's an iconic of a picture. The idea of character swap seems fun. Also different mood for the channel. Well, I mean, I had the idea 2 or 3 years ago, but I just slept on it. And I'm kind of glad I did, because if I didn't, we wouldn't have so many issues regarding God of War scaling. I remember in that stream, you was shy about showing your face, lol. Yeah. Oh my god! Oh, he's changed it to his separate Discord server. Oh my god! You can actually tell it's a fucking dog now! What have you done? He changed it. Oh, look at it. Wow, I'm actually... That is weird. That is uncanny.
I forgot that I was muted the entire time.
That is so uncanny.
So now, instead of a dog sleeping backwards, it's a dog sleeping forwards. I know. Madness.
That's not a dog, that's a stuffed animal.
That is... well, I refer to him as a carpet.
Dude, that was... well, maybe...
I can always change it back.
So we'll see what happens there. Dude, that was nothing compared to a stream where the final battle of DMC5 got leaked. I remember you screaming like a little girl when you saw Virgil fighting Nero and him showing his DT. Dude, I was so hyped for fucking DMC5's ending when I saw that. Oh, man, that was...
His eyes are not open. If you... I have the actual photo. If you scan and his eyes are closed.
Oh, see, I cannot zoom in enough to see that.
He does this thing that all dogs kind of know how to do from their basically this kind of goes back to most of their wolf-like ancestors, that animals basically sleep with their eyes kind of like halfway like open, where in reality they are sleeping, but because of like the specific height of their eyes, it looks like they're sort of awake while staying on guard, and they just basically use their hearing to perceive what's going on while they sleep. So in reality, they're kind of sleeping, but they're still alert, and it gives predators the idea that they're still on guard. So that's why they look like that.
My first video.
Also, he's 14.
What? He's what?
He's 14.
He's 14? How long do dogs usually live for?
I think like 18 years old for small dogs. Yeah, he's old. He's an old dog.
Is he right by your side right now? Like, are you like fucking like petting him or something?
I can go get him.
You do not need to go get him. I'm just saying, is he there? Because he's the one you walk out every night, right?
Yes. Gonna have to go walk him in a little bit.
My first video was honestly Excalibur because I wanted to know how strong DMC was, and I got hooked on those videos. That's a nice poster. Welcome.
A
And
nice little sin you've committed, Mangler. There are no sins. I just had a better picture of the dog.
artistically, it is an inferior picture because you can actually tell what it is this time. But no, yeah, well, I mean, the dog does look nice at least. Looks nice. How old is this picture then? Like what, 3 years old?
Probably a year old.
Oh,
The
Kyle.
picture that I had, I was gonna say the picture I had before that was like 5 years old.
I'm pretty sure Kyle didn't say he was up to stream today. I think he said he was up to stream RE3. Like, as in he was there at RE3. I could be wrong, though.
Mangler did a face reveal. False.
Yeah, he said up to RE3. Yeah, because Kyle's at RE3 now. Because in the last Kyle stream, he actually beat Resident Evil 2 all the way through.
Favorite Devil Trigger? Zimgo. I gotta think.
Launch and form, of course. DMC2. Not even a question.
I have to apply more than 2 brain cells.
How embarrassing.
Well, I would say for me, it's probably either Lucia's or Nero. I would probably say Lucia's, but Nero's in DMC4s is like probably an honorable mention.
I remember when you were going to a DMC5 leak, it was one where you were reading, your theory was that Virgil's going to show up after Nero was being held back after the rebellion was shattered. Technically he did, because V showed up to pull him away. Dude, the actual leak season for DMC5 was fucking awesome, but there were so many better ideas than we actually got.
Well,
No, like...
most of them, even the ones we didn't get, most of them just became canon anyway, or we just found out lore that's like, yeah, this is just canon in another universe.
I remember the best one for me was Urizen is actually a judge who presides over the underworld, and he kicks Sparta out after Sparta like rebelled against Mundus, and that's why Sparta like didn't actually stick around the Demon World because someone else just beat him out. That would have been great.
I was gonna say Nero's DMC4 DT or Virgil's DMC4 DT. Virgil's DMC4 DT is just his DMC3 DT featuring sparkles. Like there's nothing unique about it.
So
It's just DMC3 Virgil Sparkle Edition.
sometimes that's all you need, Mangler.
I once had a headcanon that Nello Angelo was Virgil's Majin form. That would have been weird because then you have to ask yourself how the fuck did he take his head off? And then proceed to explode.
We thought Dante would have Stringer, which was the same league where Urizen was a judge. That would have been
That'd
nice.
be wild.
That would have been funny. So many people would have been so mad about that.
It was so fun on this prime. It was. I still remember when Dan by mistake leaked that on a Power Ranger convention. Well, that's what happens when you keep Virgil locked up away from the main game as DLC for all those years. Dan's just like, yeah, I'm gonna accidentally leak this, quote unquote.
Dan, what's an NDA Southworth? Oh. But yeah, no. Yeah, the hype system for DMC5 was fucking great. Yeah. So again, we'll see if I end up streaming later today or not. I might. I'm not sure. I usually don't stream Sundays anymore, and well.
You guys thought Dante wouldn't have Stinger? Did
No.
somebody actually say that in the leaks?
So there was a leak that claimed when Dawn's Lost Rebellion that he wouldn't have Stinger because he wouldn't have a main sword this time around. I guess the idea was gonna go through like multiple fucking like different fighting styles this time.
I guess Dante just would never use a forward stab ever again.
No, it would be lost to him forever with the memory of Rebellion.
Dante's like, I've forgotten everything about basic combat fundamentals.
Sending a post of the run God of War fade. Maybe we'll see. April is coming up, so there's always a good April Fool's joke. Speaking of April, when does Lent end? Because I am dying. Master Duel stream when? Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe. Because I try to get Devil involved with those since he's so alone out there.
Just to be fair, so we have like all these people to chat. How many people vote yay or nay for the idea of like Mundus and or some faction, Demon King faction leader invading like another verse and an invasion scenario of all out war with another hack and slash verse? Yay or nay to that idea as a video?
Okay, well, you at least got 2 yays.
Me? Okay.
me is not an answer.
I was like, me is quite far away from yay, but thank you for trying. Fetty, that is not a yay. That is not a nay. Triple, you don't get 2 answers. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Like, how many times can we break this rule? Yes. Yay for Mundus only? Okay, at least specifics. Wait. Well, see, we don't really have enough on Pluto or his, like, faction. We wanted to include him, but he's kind of in the same... Well, actually, he's in a worse mode than Abigail, because we could technically include at least the anime cast to supplement Abigail invading. We can't really do that for Pluto. Well, for both, okay. Yeah, for Mundus is weird. Okay, so we got Samaj, Fetty, Triple. I don't know what to call myself.
I could just do a poll. I could just do a poll later too. We could just take a look at a poll.
Yeah, that's like 8 to 10. That's like 8 to 9 people. Oh, this is a really active chat. Oh yeah, you can do a poll later.
Yeah,
because apparently everybody's like willing to answer those now for some reason. Pluto invades Nightmare Before Christmas game. That is a hack and slash. Oh my god.
I mean, they're not wrong, technically. Not a very serious hack and slash, but it is a hack and slash.
By the way, does Dante have Pluto's power since I heard he was in the Book of Demons? I'm going to have to rewatch those cutscenes to see if Dante absorbs Pluto into the Book of Demons.
I don't know. I don't know if he gets absorbed or not.
MC4 Dante got fish scales on his DT. Sparkles, but yes.
Yeah, no. So we'll think about doing that poll. For the most part, it seems that the Q&A seems to have reached more or less a satisfactory conclusion. Not exactly what we were, I guess, expecting to go with.
I think we got maybe 2 questions. I think like nobody asked about any specific decisions or like things, which is, hey, we tried. That's all that matters.
I guess we'll try again with the next Q&A session, and then we'll go from there, maybe.
Yeah, we'll probably just do these every like 2 or 3, just so we don't have to do them like every single time.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So with that situation in mind, that's about it. So who and lore? Oh, hang on. So who and lore-wise is the strongest? If we're referring to DMC, it's either gonna be Virgil or Dante or Sparta. Well, I guess it's Sparta technically still because Sparta's still being dragged along. Sparta's corpse is being displayed and dragged along harder than the woman's is in Berserk.
Oh. It's funny as the dude's probably just chilling in Nirvana, and I'm like, man, those fuckers still can't touch me.
Dude, let's put Dante in Life is Strange. What the fuck?
Oh.
I'm sitting in the middle of a conversation with that Christian girl talking about how she wants to end her life only for him to go, would you to tell him back? What the fuck? What were thoughts about DMC3 Virgil versus Kratos Bloodlusted? Wait, did you ask that question? Because either way, that's still going to be given to Virgil. Like
I could.
Virgil won that fight in the fucking thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So like, Judgment Cut ends the fight instantaneously. Um, any move with Yamato ends the fight instantly. Any move with Devil Trigger, any like passive abilities, summon swords, all that ends the fight instantly.
Yep. So at any rate, normally so you guys might have noticed I've kind of switched over my streams from Sunday to Friday, and we've kind of stopped streaming Sundays last like 2 weeks, I think. I just think that kind of works out better overall. Not sure how you guys feel about that, but yeah. Since we got such a crowd today, and since I'm assuming like at least 5 of you are gonna show up to another stream later on, anyways, or like referring to Sim's thoughts when it was stated, bless Virgil. So, I might stream like an hour or so. Probably either leagues or something silly since I wasn't really planning to stream today. We'll see what happens. During the protag swap. So Virgil was technically stated to be bloodlusted because like he would assume that Kratos took like the amulet from Dante.
Yeah, so the reason I said Virgil would be bloodlusted is that okay, so imagine Mission 7. Virgil has basically been standing on top of Temenagru where he can sense Dante from his shop, and Dante's presence disappears not just from the city, but from the entire human world universe. And he has no explanation for where it is, and then some random pale-faced bald man shows up in his place and then takes his amulet for keepsake and then is wearing it around his neck. That's gonna piss off him like to an extraordinary amount because for one, this guy is basically just like human but has like a bunch of like godly powers. But to Virgil, when he sees like his soul and his existence, he's gonna be like, yeah, you're mostly just like human. This is an insult. This is a disgrace. Also, I want to know what happened to my brother. Like Virgil's just basically going to be bloodlusted, and he's also going to be pissed off that like he took like Dante's amulet.
He's going to be very upset that he set up the bash, and then the guy who was supposed to show up got yeeted.
Yeah. He also wanted to see his brother again. Like that's also a part of it. And it's like, yeah, my brother's gone now, and you're here in his place. So yeah, I'm going to kill you. Which he would already have done anyway, but now he's just going to kill him harder.
You're gonna be dead to death now.
Yes.
Yep.
Can Ichibei strip all the names in DMC and solo? No, he cannot. His conceptual manipulation is not high enough. And even if it was, every single demon in the DMC would resist him because they have resistance to that type.
Even if their names were stripped from them, demons still hold power technically, because like the fallen angels in DMC 3, I say fallen angels loosely, they still had power even when their names were stripped.
Yeah, they just can't. They can't like physically move their bodies, but like their minds and their souls still hold their powers. So if you get close to them, they still can activate them. Which again, if Ichibei stripped, if we gave them the benefit of the doubt and he argued he could strip their powers, it wouldn't matter because he'd have to get close to them to do anything, or he would in character, and then they would just mind hacks him.
Like Chloe going, I have to blame someone. Other way is my fault. Fuck that. And how toxic is Chloe in the fucking game? And Dante in the back was going, this is why I don't date women in art school. Yeah, no. So yeah, I think we'll probably end it here. We're a little shy of 2 hours, but there's not too much else to talk about. Very active stream. Again, will not happen often. We will announce when these occur beforehand.
Kratos just thrown Dante's head at Virgil. So understand in this scenario, like all the other characters being swapped is like canon, like within the same protag swap. So they're all being moved around by the same narrator. Dante is currently waiting outside the Bayo lobby to spawn in, and he got yeeted out of the he got yeeted out of the the DMC verse. So his head would not be in Kratos' possession.
DMC with
Okay.
Dante's emotional help at listening to Adachi.
Is Chrono Heart better time stop than the Bangle of Time? Yes, because wait, gameplay or lore? Because gameplay wise, I would argue yes, because the Bangle of Time only like stops everything completely and doesn't allow any combos. Lore wise, well, actually no, lore wise, Chrono Heart would be better as well because it fights like stronger enemies in the timeline. ESB thinks so. Well, they're correct for once.
What about the Deadpool game? No. No, I'm just gonna put a stop to that right now. No. Ah man, got some like.
Lore, then yes, the amulet is better. Technically better for both gameplay and lore reasons.
Ah, son of a gun.
Are you switching to El Matador?
I don't know what I'll be streaming today. To be fair, I kind of prefer doing these streams when Devil can Master Duel when Devil can participate. And as far as I know, Devil can only really participate Tuesday and Wednesday. All I know is that for like the next hour, I'll be doing some other side stuff, and then I might pick it up at
He's
9.
literally in the call.
I know, but he's just listening. He's at fucking work right now.
Devil,
You-
are you a loser?
Like I was gonna say, unironically, I probably talk to him more than you do at night these days, and it's like every time he shows up, he's working.
Okay, well, Dante and Bayo, which Dante? So the Dante, okay, so for the protag swaps that we're doing, we're basically starting with like whichever character we think is necessary to get them through the game. So we're using game versions of each of these characters, no novels or anything. So for Dante, we're just starting with DMC3 Dante. And then for whatever reason he needs like another version, we'll declare that he loses in that version, and then we'll upgrade him to his next version.
Yeah, if he ever needs that.
Yeah, and then the same can be said for like God of War. Well, we're technically because Kratos is kind of lacking a little bit of his arsenal. We just decided to go and use like his strongest version, which is like God of War 3 Kratos, like end game essentially. And Bayo gets is like end game Bayo 2, Bayo.
All right, is Johnny Bashikoi Dachi Roasting Nero still a thing? I don't even know if he's actually still doing those commissions anymore. If he is, maybe, but if not, we'll see what happens. What verse will give DMC a challenge? Not quite too sure yet. Unfortunately, DMC every time it fucking breathes just gives Dante more absurd abilities.
Yeah, and then they get layered. Or see, the problem is that we get if we already have examples of that ability, then Capcom's like, did I stutter? We're layering it now for some stupid shit. So like even if a character had the ability to resist or nullify Dante's resistance to that, it wouldn't matter because we'd have layers to that. So yeah, just being unfair.
I'm sorry. I just got a message that with the post that apparently Tom Brady is coming back again to the Buccaneers for this season. Can he just let someone else in the Super Bowl now? When will that man be satisfied?
I don't pay attention to the NFL.
Wow. So. Imagine calling yourself an American. Anyways, is Hope Cradle stronger than God of War 4? I don't know. Mangler? No. Mangler says no.
No, that's false. Yeah, all evidence to the scaling for God of War 4 puts anything within the cosmology of that game above everything within 3.
What about Jen?
Especially post-retcon.
What about Jen in the DMC universe? Again, we have to go through the fighting game. He's gonna be like, let me finish the stream.
Yeah, seriously?
Yeah, no.
It's time to cut it off.
So, yeah. So,
Take care, everybody.
All right, yeah. So, if you have any questions, I'll try and be on an hour. Mangler will probably be there for a little bit if you want to continue asking similar questions. If not, for those of you who came out to this, thank you so much for coming to the Q&A. Thank you guys for being active. Really appreciate that. And
good job.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys. Well, I'll see you guys on next streamer video, and we'll see you guys on next protagonist swap or the like. So take care, everybody.